Nigeria's Tariff Review Board has convened as part of ongoing tariff review process, bringing together key ministries, the Central Bank of Nigeria, manufacturers and other stakeholders to align with fiscal policies and current the needs of the industrial and manufacturing sectors. The Minister of State Finance, Dr. Doris Anite, who convened the meeting, says the focus is clear. It is to create a tariff structure that encourages local production, protects homegrown businesses and eases the cost of doing business in Nigeria. It is also to ensure the country's tariff framework remains competitive and aligns with Nigeria's bilateral and international trade commitments. A major outcome was the call to strengthen monitoring and evaluation of trade, fiscal and monetary incentives, as well as reinforcing the need for a coordinated whole-of-government approach to deliver balanced, credible and growth-driven tariff decisions using data-driven insights. And moving on, a total of 521 digital lender companies have now come under the regulatory purview of the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission, that is, the FCCPC, as the consumer watchdog moves to sanitize Nigeria's fast-growing digital credit market. This comes as the January 5 deadline for full compliance with digital, electronic, online and non-traditional consumer lending regulations 2025 lapses. The FCCPC had directed all digital lenders, whether app-based or online or operating through other non-traditional channels, to register with the Commission and comply with the new regulations on or before January 5, 2026. With the deadline now passed, the regulator's records indicate a significant increase in the number of companies submitting to oversight, reflecting both heightened enforcement and a rapid expansion of Nigeria's digital lending ecosystem. And in other news, India plans to end 5-year-old restrictions on Chinese firms bidding for government contracts. That's according to two sources. The caps were imposed in 2020 after a deadline clashed between the country's troops. The rules required Chinese bidders to register with an Indian government committee and obtain political and security clearance. The measures effectively banned Chinese firms from competing for Indian government contracts, estimated to be worth up to $750 billion. A source says a final decision to remove the restrictions will be moved by Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's office. New Delhi wants to revive commercial ties as diplomatic ties with Beijing have eased. Modi recently visited China for the first time in 7 years and agreed to build deeper commercial ties. And a quick look at the markets at the end of transaction today across major stocks in Africa. The Nigerian investors went home with 137.35 billion naira, with market capitalization closing at 102.82 trillion naira. On the aggregate, 130 listed companies participated in trading, ending with 32 gainers and 41 losers. For South Africa, it saw a dip of 0.85%, while the Tunisia index was also down 0.24%, which means there is still an opportunity for investors in South Africa as well as Tunisia to invest in the BS. That is it on business.